Okay, hi guys. I am going to be conducting this video a little bit different, um, more of a narration in between the videos of the interview. I found it to be a little bit difficult asking someone to cram 40 years into 10 minutes, and considering she's my mom, you could imagine how talkative she is. So it's going to be a little bit different, but just bear with me. One of the first questions that I asked her was, what do you consider your definition of emotional growth?
Um, well, it depends on what you consider an adult, first of all. Some kids, some people are adult like, emotionally strong, and um, at a young age. Some people take a long time to become mature and emotionally mature. And I was one of those young ones I had a lot of responsibility at a very young age, so I grew up really fast.
Next, I had her see if she could think back and pinpoint a specific time to which she felt she was first an adult.
When after high school, I didn't go to college. I went to work. I worked in a hospital in Virginia Mason, and I got in solely on personality. I got the job because I was spunky and could soak up things. And I graduated from high school and everything looked great to the lady that was, hiring me. And I got a job, and they gave me a ton of responsibility right off the bat, and I loved it. And I felt really good that somebody trusted me, with responsibility. I was
Okay, so once I got my mom started, there was no stopping her. Um, Her interview was very, very hard to edit. So, what I want to do now is just give you a quick overview of her background, which is what she's discussed the most about. So, Sheree Skeslien's life milestones. After her job at Virginia Mason, she fell in love with a man named Greg at age 18. They moved to Spain because he was a professional basketball player and he wanted her to go with him. They got married in Spain while she was 19 years old. He played in overseas for a couple years before he decided to join the Air Force. They moved to New York, and at age 21, my mom had her first baby, was taking care of her, and at age 23, she had her second child and was a military wife alone for about 9 months at a time, raising two kids, and this lasted for about 5 more years after that.
That was huge development. That was huge growth for me. So I would say between the ages of 22 and 28, full blown emotional maturity, able to put myself into social situations that were, like I didn't know a soul in the room, but I just learned to adapt. I'm very outgoing, so it wasn't a problem for me. But so that was big growth though in that space of time, from 22 to 28. And I say 28 because I divorced his butt. But that's another story.
So, after she got a divorce, my mom packed up her two babies and her dog and drove across the country back to Seattle, where she got another job, bought a new house, she worked full time, she took care of her kids all by herself, and pretty soon after that, she felt the pressure to sort of get back out there.
And by the way, I was cute, but I felt so ugly and old because I had been dumped. But there was no lack of attention from men. Bleh, I know, it's gross. But okay, so I married this guy, like, so fast.
Okay, clearly that didn't work because that's not my dad either. So,
Right, that only lasted about a year and a half because he wouldn't move to Seattle.
So, after that quick marriage in her life, she finally met my dad after a while at age 33. They got married, and 9 months later, I showed up. The rest is kind of history. She is turning 60 tomorrow. She has three granddaughters with one on the way. Still happily married to my dad and still emotionally growing all the time. My next question for her was whether or not she thought how she was raised had anything to do with the choices she made or her personality during those times and still today.
Yeah, it was my mom's right hand man, woman, girl. We had a big family, and I was the oldest, and I learned how to cook a full meal, for a family of, gosh, nine. When I before I was even 12, and just take care of my little brothers and my little sisters and everybody, and I'm still a caregiver. That's a leftover from just being, having to do it, but then learning to love doing it because you get so much back, you know. So
Next, I wanted to know whether or not her personality was already developed by the time she considered herself an adult, or has it changed over the years?
oh, definitely. My personality. My personality was developed by the time I was, I would say 10 or 11. I mean, I was a hoot. I don't feel any different the way I am than maybe that's an old person saying that, but my personality has always been the same.
You don't think personality and emotional growth have anything like
I
are
suppose.
like one and the same?
I suppose no.
Really?
Well, because I've always been an outgoing person, and I've always tried to be um, the funny one, and I don't know, the spirited one. And even when you go through life and all these things that'll just get you at your knees, take you down, there's awesome things that happen too to balance it all out. I In my life there has been, so I haven't changed.
Next, I was very interested in hearing from the point of view of a 60-year-old the answer to the question we discussed in class about being over 65 and not being uh, relevant to this world currently. I wanted to know her opinion or feeling on that. What if I told you that after your birthday on the 29th, you were no longer considered a benefit to this world? How does that make you feel? Or, like, do you agree? And if
I
not, why?
Okay, it's interesting because the way I am, I think, is so that I am valued, that I do have value. I so I By taking care of things, by taking care, you move back home, by taking care of dad, by taking care of my mom and dad, by taking care of my granddaughter, um, things like that make me valuable. So I'm valuable to a lot of people in my family. So I mean, I could lay down in the bed and just watch TV and do nothing. Then, okay, go ahead and say that. I'm no longer, valuable. Lights out. Okay. But while I'm actually doing things for people and getting something out of it in return, which is love, I mean, when you boil it all down, that's what we're here for. And as long as I can give love and receive love, then that makes me relevant, and I should be able to stay here.
I agree. Good answer, Mom. After all of the questions that I had her answer, I really wanted to finish up the interview with something that would tie it all together. And I'm interested in knowing how somebody without any prior
adult development classes views what adult development is, or if they even considered it to be a concept. So here's her response. Range or
No, it's not an age range, it's a situation range. And it's how you respond to the situation. You know, how you take it, how you absorb it, how you live with it, and what you're going to do with it. And, you know, your reaction to it, everything. So you could be 12 and have things happen to you that maybe a 24-year-old had happen to them. But the 12-year-old takes it, makes her tough, or him, whatever. 24-year-old melts because it's never happened, you know. And so no, it's definitely it's not age, it's stage. That's, ooh, cool.
Cool.
It's done. Yeah.
Sweet.
Bye.
Okay, bye.